which we're standing on now, some places when they give up a railroad right away, they leave the bridge, but unfortunately they didn't here. They put the bridge up. Build a bridge across Sandy Creek to access the trail that goes through Ramsfield to where the roundabout is, where they used to turn the locomotives in Ramsfield. It's going to be down this side path that goes down, that gets you actually down next to the river and then across Sandy Creek. All these bridges, it's a very expensive proposition because you have to build a bridge so high.
So there's something going on all the time, and you just have to have your ears to the ground. So.
And remember that when this is finished, you can go from Rambleman all the way to Ramsfield on this Deep River State Trail when it's finished.
15 miles.
Yeah, there to that bank, and then you'll pick up the trail, go under the bridge supports, and then the trail to Ramsfield goes right along there. And so even though Cornwallis surrendered, that actually did not end, it looks good in the history book, but that didn't end the Revolutionary War. In May of 1782, which was the next year, Andrew Hunter, who was from this area, who was kind of he was one of those pesky rebels, and that was on the side of the American Revolution. Well, he was captured by David Fanning, who was a loyalist or Tory person that had this militia that went around terrorizing all the farms up in North Carolina and South Carolina and this sort of thing. So he was on the losing side, and this was 1882, but they were still fighting the war. Someone hadn't told him yet, hey, the war's over. And so this was 1782. Anyway, Andrew Hunter escapes from David Fanning, steals David Fanning's horse, which was named Bay Doe, his favorite horse, rides off on it. They couldn't catch it, so he escapes, and that was in May of 1782. Okay, Fanning was so enraged that Andrew Hunter had taken his horse that he actually comes looking for him. And so he follows him up here in Randolph County, and he, in September 5th of 1782, which is that fall, Fanning and his forces see Andrew Hunter riding through this area on Fanning's horse, Bay Doe. They start chasing him, and they chased him to the Deep River. And to get away from the British forces that were there, as soon as they captured him, they were going to hang him. He rode down this Faith Rock. He rode Bay Doe down this Faith Rock, jumped into the Deep River on Bay Doe, and rode out the other side. And the British troops were so amazed they just stopped. They didn't even chase him. That ended their chase of him. And so he made what's called the leap of faith, and that's why this is called Faith Rock. And as you can see, I don't know how he did it. I can hardly make a horse do anything. And to get him to ride that horse down this rock and jump into the river, I don't see how he did it. But that's the legend anyway.